Intelligent people have 16 strategies for coping with complex and toxic people. Toxic individuals constantly seem to generate needless drama, and it doesn't seem to matter what they do. They often serve as the impetus for a disagreement, have a depressing effect on workplace morale, and have a detrimental impact on the mental and emotional well-being of individuals forced to cope with them. Others, on the other hand, find fulfillment in wreaking havoc and pressing the hot buttons of those around them. In contrast, others are blissfully unconscious of the evil influence that they have on others who are in their immediate vicinity. The worst thing is that it's easy to get into the trap of responding to toxic individuals with the same behavior they exhibit toward others. This approach is sure to fail. They are not very good at engaging in self-reflection, and turning the situation around serves to reinforce their view of themselves as helpless victims. The following strategies, which clever people use regularly, are the most effective methods for dealing with challenging individuals. Number 1. Establish boundaries. In this particular aspect, most individuals tend to place too little value on themselves. They believe that since they work or live with someone else, they cannot manage the turmoil, yet nothing could be farther from the reality in this situation. If you discover a means to elevate yourself above another person, you will realize that person's conduct is more predictable and simpler to comprehend. Because of this, you will be more equipped to think sensibly about the situations in which you are required to put up with them and the conditions in which you are not required to do so. If you sit back and allow things to take their natural course, you will inevitably find yourself regularly in the middle of contentious debates. You may get a good deal of the disorder under control if you establish boundaries and choose when and where you will interact with challenging people. Number 2. Limit yourself. Negative thinkers and those who constantly complain are terrible news. They wallow in their troubles and want others to join in so they may feel better about themselves, and they want others to join in because they wallow in their problems. People often feel obligated to listen to others, vent their frustrations, because they do not want to be seen as insensitive or impolite. But there is a thin line between offering a sympathetic ear to someone and becoming dragged into the downward emotional spiral that they are experiencing. Putting boundaries in place and giving yourself space when it's appropriate are the only ways to prevent this situation. Just put yourself in the complainer's shoes for a moment. If they smoked, would you want to be in the same room with them all day, breathing in their secondhand smoke? Almost certainly not. You put some space between yourself and the complainer, and you should do the same with them. Number 3. Ignore certain circumstances. So, before you put this technique into action, there are a few things you need to think about. You will need to educate yourself on ignoring a poisonous individual. A person who is toxic has an insatiable need for attention at all times, even when the event in question is intended to honor another individual or their achievements. They are going to speak loudly, and they are going to disturb other individuals. Having said that, if you decide to ignore them, you should make sure there are many other people. Ignoring them may not work if you've been subservient to the toxic person for a long time and you find yourself alone with them. You are only able to ignore toxic individuals while you are in public. This is because unhealthy people prefer to disguise aggressive reprisal in public, which means they are less likely to get angry with you for ignoring them. Number 4. Do not reveal confidential information to gossipers. Toxic individuals will divulge their most private information to others to seem temporarily intriguing, and they are prone to passing judgment on others or gossiping about them behind their backs. If you run across someone who does this, do not fall for the trap of believing that they gossip with you because they like or trust you. This is not the case. They will violate your confidence just as effortlessly as they gained it. When toxic individuals speak to you about another person, they do it with the expectation that you would side with their opinion. Afterward, they will inform the other individual of what you have stated. This causes tension between the two individuals, which gives the toxic person control of the situation. If someone tries to obtain friends or influence in a social group by using this divisive and deceptive tactic, you shouldn't give in to their ploy. Number 5. Understand insults and ignore them. People that are toxic like insulting others, but they do it in a manner that is not obvious. These people will try to disguise their attacks as praises whenever possible. People like this will comment, "I could never have the courage to wear it," or "You do well when you attempt." Although they may come out as being friendly, the reality is that they are planting the seeds of doubt in your mind by setting limitations on the things you are capable of. The best way to deal with compliments is to train yourself to hear the truth hidden beneath them and then ignore it. When you can chuckle at what others say, you will know that you have matured. However, you should use caution since laughter often provokes hostility in others. Number 6. Let the liars stumble over their lies. Toxic people tend to lie not just to others, but also to themselves compulsively. They will often engage in mental gymnastics to persuade themselves that the falsehoods they are telling are, in fact, true. It is not too difficult to describe an incident that indeed occurred, but it is challenging to keep up with falsehood. It is challenging to keep track of several fabricated tales, and liars eventually expose themselves by contradicting themselves with other falsehoods, which leads to their being caught in their lies. Number 7. Don't give in to sympathy. Toxic individuals use pity as another kind of manipulation in their relationships. Even when their victims ultimately stand up for themselves, they make them feel guilty for doing so. Intelligent individuals can distinguish self-pity and how toxic people employ it in their behavior. I'm not trying to imply that feeling sorry for oneself from time to time is a terrible trait. Still, I am saying that toxic individuals often utilize self-pity to regain power. As long as someone is ready to listen to them, they will continue to blame others for all of the problems they are experiencing in their lives. You may prevent yourself from getting drawn into the world of self-perpetuating failure that others live in by avoiding self-pitying individuals and refusing to excuse their indifference. Number 8. Refuse to back down from bullies. While most good people will aid the helpless, protect the vulnerable, and assist those who need it, toxic individuals will prey on anybody they deem to be weak. Most decent people will help the helpless, defend the vulnerable, and assist those who need it. It might be someone who is quiet, uncomfortable in social situations, or even someone who is physically weak that falls under this category. Toxic individuals will bully and take advantage of anybody they believe won't stand up to them, which is why it is so important to stand up to bullies, not only for yourself but also for those who are close to you and in your immediate environment. The most effective technique to deal with a toxic individual is probably to stand up for yourself when you are being bullied. Number 9. Take care to monitor your feelings. Maintaining emotional distance needs awareness on your part. Otherwise, you won't be able to prevent someone from pressing your buttons if you're aware of when it's occurring. You will find yourself in predicaments when you need to step back, gather your thoughts, and choose the most effective method. Assessing and being aware of your current emotional state is crucial when navigating interactions with toxic people. If you are in this position, you can avoid interacting with other people rather than being coerced into a response you would later regret. Number 10. Look for answers instead of complaints. When anything negative occurs, toxic individuals are often the first to point the finger of blame elsewhere. They do this to absolve themselves of the responsibility of exerting any effort to put things right. It is extremely simple to despise things and point the finger at other people, but it is a really difficult task to actually bring about change. Intelligent individuals will avoid a toxic person's power by seeking a solution to a problem rather than concentrating only on the person or persons responsible for the issue. When you demonstrate that you are compassionate, protective, and loyal by helping to put things right, regardless of whether or not you had anything to do with making it wrong in the first place, you will always triumph against toxic individuals. Number 11. Interrupt your negative internal dialogue. You may take on the negative emotions and attitudes of other individuals. There is nothing inherently wrong with experiencing negative emotions in response to how another person treats you. Nonetheless, how you speak to yourself may either amplify those feelings or assist you in moving on from them. Having a negative dialogue with oneself is impractical, useless, and counterproductive. It propels you into an emotionally draining downward spiral that is tough to pull yourself out of. Make an active effort to keep negative thoughts about yourself at bay at all costs. Number 12. Spend time with your trustworthy friends. It is essential to have a reliable and sturdy support system comprised of devoted and honest individuals. Intelligent individuals know that they do not have to be everyone's friend, nor do they believe everyone deserves their relationship. They also recognize that only some are worthy of their friendship. In return, they exhibit their trustworthiness and dedication to their buddy by demonstrating that the relationship is mutually beneficial. Do not let poisonous, harmful, or untrustworthy individuals taint your true friendship and faithfulness, since this is one of the rarest and most precious things you will ever have in your life. Do not allow this to be contaminated. Number 13. Avoid expending your strength on irrelevant conflicts. Specific toxic individuals have an insatiable drive to pick fights with anybody prepared to accept their offer to quarrel with them. To make matters even worse, the fights that toxic individuals initiate often serve no useful purpose. There is no intention to engage in constructive arguments or reach a conclusion, and those with a high level of intelligence are quick to detect this fact. Your best action is to withdraw or disregard the efforts made entirely. Number 14. Maintain a focus on your goals. Toxic people may be a significant source of distraction. When they generate drama or cause issues, they make it difficult for you to maintain mental and emotional composure. Try as hard as you can to put it behind you. Instead, you should continue bringing attention back to the issue at hand or the objective that has to be accomplished. Toxic people are many things, but the vast majority of them are not foolish, and once they discover they do not impact you, they will often back off. Toxic people are many things, but the vast majority of them are not stupid. Number 15. Remember that you have the right to enjoy life. It is ideally within your rights to be a happy person who surrounds yourself with emotionally healthy individuals, regardless of the motivations a toxic person may have for their conduct. You don't need to compare yourself to others, and you can always take other people's views with a grain of salt. Even though it's practically difficult to ignore what other people think of you, it's still important to remember that you can. Your sense of self-worth will originate from inside, making it immune to the adverse effects of other people's thoughts and actions. At some point in our lives, we will all be forced to contend with the challenge of navigating relationships with unhealthy individuals. These people have a knack for infiltrating the lives of others, where they then proceed to stir up trouble and discord in order to manipulate others around them to serve their own purposes. But you don't have to let them ruin your life and hinder your progress. Implementing these techniques will allow you to handle complex and toxic people more effectively and decrease the likelihood of their ill effects on you. What are your thoughts? How do you handle folks that are tough or poisonous to be around? Number 16. Prayers and meditations. Yes, prayer and meditation can be helpful ways to cope with toxic people. Prayer and meditation can provide a sense of inner peace and calm that can help you to better deal with difficult situations. Additionally, they can help you to gain perspective, find strength and clarity, and feel more connected to a higher power or a sense of purpose. These practices can also be a way to release feelings of anger, frustration, and hurt, and to find forgiveness and understanding. If you're not sure where to start with prayer or meditation, there are many resources available online that can help you to learn more about these practices and how to incorporate them into your daily routine. Please share your thoughts with us in the section below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so that we may continue to make more like it. Click the subscribe button to watch more videos like this one, and don't forget to click the notification bell button. Also, make sure you check out some of the other videos that we have on our channel. Thank you so much for watching.